Hello and welcome back to the Armchair podcast. Thanks for tuning in once again. And we have had a great weekend.
That was the true definition of a delectable medley of footballing splendour. It was sensational.
It was a really good weekend of footballing splendour, as said best by Rory Jennings. What did you make of this weekend's football, Josh?
I mean, Rory just, he said it, hasn't he, really? And he said it many times. But this weekend, I don't know why I said weekend. I've only said this week, but it is played over a weekend, football usually. Has been delectable, quite delectable. And yeah, I suppose it's been a good week for some teams, and it's been a bad week for other teams.
You said weekend though a minute ago, so is it week?
Sorry,
or
it's
weekend?
a weekend. Yeah, it's a weekend sport, isn't it?
Yeah,
really?
I mean the derby. We had the Merseyside derby. Sorry, we didn't have the Merseyside derby.
Are you fucking? Do you want to do this podcast?
No, not really. We had the Newcastle Sunderland derby.
Time where?
I
had to Google that because I forgot what it was called as well.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
It has been a
while. We're going to talk about that.
Well, it's been 2 years. Apparently, they met each other in the FA Cup 2 seasons ago. I thought it was last season, but apparently it was 2 seasons ago.
Arguably the biggest game of the season so far, I think, that game. Did it live
Gargantua.
up to the billing? Not too sure. We'll talk about that shortly. Man City played and win. We'll talk about them and whether they're good or not. We're going to talk about Arsenal, unfortunately, and whether they're bad again and they're going to bottle it again.
Yeah.
And we're also going to talk about Forest against Spurs, and we actually went and interviewed some fans outside the stadium today.
Watch out for that.
So watch out for that. Watch out for some clips. It was quite funny. Thank you to everyone who got involved. If you are listening to the podcast now, which you probably are, then thanks so much.
Well, they probably won't be because we didn't tell them that we were Arsenal fans. Well, the Spurs fans, we didn't tell them.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
They'll probably know now.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. We did interview a lot of Spurs fans, and they said, "Oh, who do you support?" And we're like, "Oh, I'm a neutral, mate."
Yeah.
And then basically they didn't know that the secret got bantered by Arsenal fans and went to Forest and watched the team got slapped up. And
That's the title. The thumbnail and title is "We secretly banter Spurs fans."
Yeah, then we're like this.
that.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good one, Josh.
That's a good one.
Right. Yeah. So, do you want to talk about?
Let's start with what? What did you just say? Oh, that was good. Tyne-Wear Derby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking forward to this one for a while because I just like Sunderland. I don't know why. I've liked them since Sunderland Till I Die with the song On the River Where You Used to Be.
Yeah, that documentary. We were talking about that documentary. So many funny moments in that Sunderland Till I Die.
So
and we were
many
saying that imagine if it just kept on going and it followed them all the way into the Premier League, just having beaten Newcastle in that derby.
Yeah.
It would actually be cinema. Like, better than Game of Thrones, like peak cinema.
Well, I thought it peaked in season 1 when Chris Coleman was like, "You're calling me a wanker? I've got kids." That was really good.
Also, do you not think people...
3 kids.
Do you not think that the new manager of Sunderland...
He thought... So, no, right. So, this was so
Nah, I
funny.
didn't.
This exposes him.
Liar.
He thought Regis Lebris was Chris Coleman.
No.
That is what you thought. You said, didn't he manage... didn't the Sunderland manager manage Wales? And I went, well, yeah, he did. If you were talking about Chris Coleman.
To be honest, it was a while ago. I'm not saying... My ball knowledge isn't good, I must admit. But honestly, you can't tell me that he does not look like...
A skinny version of Chris Coleman.
He does.
He does a
He
bit.
looks so much like
And
him.
if he lost his hair a bit.
I had a quick glance and I thought, fucking hell, is he back at Sunderland? He's done a good job.
But
But
he's
no,
not.
I've just got terrible ball knowledge, unfortunately. So yeah, if you still listen to this podcast, you probably just don't like football.
No, this is an anti-football podcast.
I don't even know what
it's
we do
banter,
this, to be
though.
honest. It is
But
just,
it's about banter,
it's not
isn't it?
anti-football, but it's anti-establishment.
Yeah, we're fucking breaking
That was
the
the
norms.
true definition of a delectable medley of footballing splendour.
But yeah, I was looking forward to this game because of the Xhaka stuff. Like, I just feel like he'd be up for it. They've obviously not played each
He's
other
always
in the
up for
Premier
it.
League for a long time. And I just thought, it's going to be an absolute spectacle. And it was in some ways.
It
and
wasn't, was
in
it?
others. Well, it was. I really enjoyed it. Like, I think the problem is we were watching it at a bar without sound, so it was kind of hard to gauge the atmosphere. But there was some crunching tackles, which I liked. I thought Sunderland were class from start to finish, although they didn't really pose too much threat. And actually, it took a bit of absolute magic and quality, a moment of pure quality from Voltemada.
It's probably one of the best headers this season.
Yeah, I mean, we don't like to be over the top on this podcast, and like, we don't like to be hyperbolic and like go overboard, but like, it's probably one of the best finishes I've seen.
You've
in a
got
long
to give
time.
credit where credit's due. Like, there's not a lot of strikers that have the awareness and the timing to get on the end of those type of balls. The delivery was sensational, and then just to head it in like that into your own net is...
I've been screaming for Gyökeres to do something like that.
Well, that's what I mean. Could Gyökeres even do a header like that into his own net? I'm not sure he could.
I don't know if he could.
For me, it showed that he's 100% committed to the cause, and he wears his head on his sleeve. And I think...
He weared his head on his sleeve?
Yeah.
Is that what people say? I think it's
No,
hard.
it's a new... I've just made
Have
that
you
up
made
now.
that up? Fuck. That's a good one. Oh, that's good, because he's headed it, and he's worn his head on his sleeve. Yeah, that's
he's really
good.
gone in for it.
Um,
I don't know. It was a strange one, that one, because it almost, when you watch it back, it looks like he's on the opposite end of the pitch heading it. It actually looks like he's heading it in for them.
Weird. Yeah,
it's like he's almost gone. He's gone for the header and gone, fuck. I'm not.
Well, it's either one of the best. It's one of the
defense.
best own goals you've ever seen, or the worst.
Question,
own goals.
yeah. Is it the best or the worst own goal ever? Because it's the best own goal ever in terms of the finish. Headed finish, that
I'm trying
is.
to think about own goals now.
But also, is it the worst own goal in terms of an own goal? It depends what team you're on, I guess. If you're a Newcastle, that is if you're on a team and someone scores an own goal,
I always
it's either
liked that.
it's the best or worst one you've ever seen.
I like that own goal in a preseason game with Maitland-Niles.
I don't remember
This
that
is a
one.
niche one, but you'll know it. And
Well, I don't know if
Maitland-Niles
it
passed it back into his own net, and then he was like, "There's a clip."
will.
Where he
Oh, I
goes,
remember that
"Why
one.
the fuck you come off his line, man?"
yeah.
Yeah, it was really funny. I love that clip. But yeah, that was a good one. But I'm trying to think about actually like the
I bet
worst
there's been
own
some
goals.
absolutely
There's been some. Yeah, leave a comment on what you think the worst own goal of all time
Or the
is.
best own goal of all
Yeah,
time is.
because that is up there. Surely.
That's up there. I think it was a fantastic header.
especially on the occasion.
To do that as
Yeah.
well, yeah, and then just nonchalantly celebrate after it was just like elite levels of
Maybe I
aura.
had a bet on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
looked
Because
like
it was
that.
absolutely quality.
Yeah.
Like, it was just magic. But yeah, to be fair,
quality.
Sunderland thoroughly deserved it. And I didn't really think Newcastle got out of the blocks.
They played them
were-
off the park, really, in the
Yeah,
first...
and they battered them.
About 70%
Like,
possession,
physically
wasn't it,
battered
after the
them.
first 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Dan, but I feel sorry, he got fucking...
Dan
they just
Burn
went,
was
you know, we're just
bloody
going to
hell.
fucking get
For a big
into
lad,
it.
he got absolutely hammered.
He
And
looked like he was going to cry when he came
yeah,
off.
I mean,
Was
he got
crying.
boot right to the chest, to be fair, which was
Baby.
quality. Yeah, I loved it from start to finish. It was scrappy, it was horrible, but it was lovely.
I sort of knew you had a feeling that Sunderland were going to win that game, though. They're actually a fantastic team, and I know we've been. I don't want to suck Sunderland off too much, but when they played Arsenal, I thought this team's got some minerals, and they showed it again today. Derby, they were proper up for it. They wanted it more than Newcastle. Newcastle looked like a bit shell shocked, really. I thought, and it is a cauldron. It's one of those places you go where you're scared to go there. You're just like, I don't want this. You have to really dig deep to get a result at the Stadium of Light. I mean, fucking hell! Like, the fans are mental, the players are mental, and then I like the fire at the end as well. That was class. I think that's the hardest. That's the best thing Newcastle did. I think was that.
Yeah, it's one of those where like they showed the wrong kind of fight towards the end. I just think I don't know. I think they tried to, I don't know what the game plan was.
Frustration. I
Yeah.
think that was.
But it makes you think. I mean, a wider talking point about Newcastle is: are they in a crisis? I mean,
No, I
you
wouldn't
not
say they're.
think
I wouldn't say they're in a crisis, but I just think they're
Well, I
adapting
think
to
it's
a.
been so
they're
poor.
adapting to the loss of Isaac
but like
and Verts. Sorry,
Voldemort.
No, Voldemort. Yeah, had a bit of a shocker, but they've also just had the new lad that came on today from Brentford,
Visser.
Visser. So I think once Visser gets bedded into the team, he looked like a handful when he came on. I think they'll be okay. I've said to Josh, I think they should play 4-4-2.
But yeah,
It'd be honestly them two up front, like that'd be pure like prime Barclays.
at the same
Those
time,
two up
you know,
top
they
together.
did. I know they lost Isaac, so their net spend wouldn't have been like crazy, but they did spend a lot in the summer on some players. Alanga's not really done it.
He's not hit the
This has
heights,
been on
yeah.
the bench. Voldemort has obviously been good,
Class.
not at his, and his quality today is getting. That Tau lad, I think he's a German international at the back. He looks all right. I don't know if they brought him in this summer, but he's decent. But what I'm saying is they did actually, like, it's not like they didn't spend anything, and they're sitting in 12th.
I'd say they're having a bit-
But they're sitting in 12th behind some shocking teams. Tottenham are above them.
Yeah.
United.
What I'd say though, they're having a bit of a nightmare.
4 places above them.
They're having a bit of a nightmare, but they're not in a crisis. They're just having
Right.
a nightmare.
Yeah.
And I think, like, unlike United, where where the club's rotten or the manager's lost the plot, I don't think that's the case.
No.
I think I think it's too early to say, but
but that'll hurt.
I do feel that will really hurt. The ripple effect of that will be massive. It will send shockwaves through the institution, as Rory Jennings would say.
Yeah, and the city.
Massive result for Sunderland and a really crushing blow for Newcastle, because it's like to lose in the Premier League is one thing, but to lose to your rival who are above you in the table and that are flying, that have just got promoted. Meanwhile, you've lost your best, probably one of your best ever players, and then you're struggling for form. It's not.
I think,
it's not a
yeah,
great
I
look.
think the thing is, it's like every season Newcastle have kind of progressed under Howe, like in some way. Like even last season when they weren't the best, they still won that Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
And they still got Europe.
Yeah.
And like things like that. So it feels like the progressive season, they've just took a huge step back. But I think like when you're building a Premier League club and you're trying to, I mean, you know, their owner came out and said they want to win everything by 2030. You know, they want to be like winning like Champions League by 2030. I think you need to chill out, lads, to be honest. I don't think
you need to spend some more fucking money.
But the thing is, it's the FFP, isn't it? And
yeah, it's fucked them over.
I mean,
I do kind of feel
it's kind
sorry
of a good
for
thing in
Newcastle.
a way, because they are still, I mean, if you compare it to where they were though, still like 5 seasons ago.
I do feel sorry for Newcastle though, because it's a bit like Forest, where it's not well. You know, where last season where they did so well, and then the board decides to just fuck you over. And it's not the board's fault, I guess, in Newcastle's, but the rules and the regulations have fucked you over, because I think in an alternate universe, without these FFP rules, I think Newcastle would be going from stride to stride.
But I don't think you should just, at the same time, like what I'm trying to say is, I think Newcastle fans need to remember that, you know, 5 years ago, bit longer, like, I mean, Joe Willock, for example, like, you know, a few seasons ago saved you from getting relegated. Then before that, you know, you were in a really rotten place with Mike Ashley and, you know, in the Championship. So I think, you know, even though at this point it feels like you're taking a step back, you need to remember that you probably are
You took a lot
way
of step
ahead
forward.
of you're way ahead of schedule. And also, like, if the Saudis didn't buy you, you could just be rotting as a club.
No, I don't
like,
think
to be
Newcastle.
fair.
I think Newcastle are great for them. They're really enjoying where they are, but I think it's a disappointment, like you say, because each year they're progressing, and that's what you want to do as a club to some extent. And I understand it's like Man City. Like each year they've got to a level where like you can't progress every year, but some years you're better than others.
But it took City a long time to
yeah,
get
I understand
good.
that. But
Yeah.
like this year, obviously they're not as good as last year. And maybe it's just one of those things where, like, next season, once they've settled about Isak, they'll be back to the best again, and they will compete for the Champions League, because it doesn't look like they're going to be doing that this season. You know, competing for top four. There's a long way to go, but it just doesn't look like that's on the cards. And look, they've signed some good players, and I think they've got some gems there. Like Baltimore is great, and Viscera come good, and I think, like you say, give them another January and a transfer window in the summer, and keep Eddie Howe, and I think this will be fine. It's probably just a blip of a season, or at least, you know, the start of a season. Because they have been shafted, really. Like that whole Isak saga must have took a lot out of the team, a lot out of the manager, and now he's finally gone. And then you've been hit with a lot of injuries, and yeah, I just think like it's not the end of the world, but today must feel pretty shit.
Yeah, but credit to Sunderland and
Sunderland looked fantastic.
Chris Coleman. But in all seriousness, Labrie, who's their coach, who I was literally saying to Jay, like probably been the manager of the season so far. Would you argue? I mean, maybe
no, he is.
Glasner's been pretty good.
He's hands down the manager of the
I think
season.
he probably has been the manager of the season so far. Would you even know a lot of people might not even know his name. I didn't know who he was, really.
I don't think many
until last
people
season.
did, unless
so
you
yeah, he's come in and no one really expected Sunderland to do well. They came through the playoffs, so that's always more difficult because you're not like the best team in the Championship. So I feel like you always have further to go. They lost Joe Bellingham. They lost Diallo, like obviously he was a lone player before that. And I think they had a huge job on their hands. So to do what they've done, and also like it's past the point now where it's just a bubble. Like I was in the pub a few weeks ago and like a few of my mates were like, the Sunderland bubble's going to burst and they'll just be, you know, they'll not get relegated obviously, but they'll just go down, crawl down. And it looks like maybe they could, you know, be top half. And who knows, like they could go for Europe, which would, you know, could be mental, but it's not impossible.
I wouldn't go that far.
Well, you don't know though. You don't know because like this is a good segue into maybe the Tottenham game, but some of these big clubs look so bad, and particularly United, Tottenham. I'm trying to think if there's another one in there. Liverpool still look bad.
Chelsea.
And well, Chelsea look I think Chelsea will get top
They
four.
don't look bad, but they're
yeah, but they are
inconsistent.
inconsistent.
That's what I'm saying.
So I think there's room there.
I think Spurs and United, there's room for a team, but you've already got, this is what I'm saying, Villa.
But United aren't really like
We'll get in there.
United aren't really getting that much better. It's just that I feel like other clubs have dropped a bit. Like do you know what I mean?
I think
a
for
few other clubs have dropped off.
fifth and sixth place, yeah. I mean, there's a real squabble for that. You couldn't really say who's
Who's going to get that?
Because it's probably going to be Arsenal.
Arsenal, City, and Chelsea.
Villa,
I think will get
Liverpool.
Well,
no, it's just sixth place. Liverpool will definitely finish top 5, surely.
yeah, but are even Villa guaranteed? It's not necessarily though.
Yeah,
Do you think so?
yeah.
Really? I mean, they drew to a pretty poor West Ham side today.
Yeah, but I just think
they're
over the course of the
inconsistent.
season. Well, look, anyway, either way, I think that Europe, that sixth, if there is going to be 6, which I think there is again this season. Yeah, I think. But anyway, if there is going to be 6,
they could probably get Europe. Yeah.
There's. I don't think Sunderland will, but I think there's a good half of them finishing top 10. They could finish. That'd be an amazing.
Well,
season.
I think they will get in the top 10.
You're
very
going.
surprised.
You are going a bit. Early.
I'm not. I think from what we've
It's been
seen
a good start
at
to
this
the
point,
season, but it's only Christmas.
it's not even Christmas.
That's what I mean.
To be
So you're
fair.
getting a bit carried away.
I don't
They
think
could
I'm
easily
getting
go on
carried
like
away.
they
I
could
think
get-
you said we've had the stat where by this was by like 5 games ago. On average, teams will after 10 games, teams only average 1 place up or 1 place below. So it kind of already takes shape the table. Like at this point in the season, the table won't move that much. That middle pack will still be somewhere in that middle pack, if you know what I mean. So it's not. I don't know. It's an interesting one. I'm not saying they can, but they're sitting in 7th. They're on level with points with Palace, Liverpool, 1 above United, and they're only 1 point. They're only 2 points behind Chelsea.
Yeah, but what I'm
So-
saying, my argument would be, apart from like City,
But they haven't got Europe
there's
either.
not apart from Arsenal and City really, and I guess Villa. Like there's not many points even to get to Arsenal, even to chase Arsenal. There's not many points between the teams in the league, so this could completely change like so much.
But do you really see it changing that much?
Yeah,
What? Who do you think's moving up the table, man?
Newcastle.
Really?
Yeah, I think Tottenham will.
What signs of Newcastle showed that they're going to be better?
I just think they've got a better team. They've got a better squad.
And you think Tottenham will go up? Because they look
I think
absolutely
they'll move.
diabolical.
I think they'll. Yeah. Well, do you want to talk about
Yeah,
Tottenham next
okay.
then?
Let's talk about Tottenham. I mean, that was probably the worst away performance I've seen from like a top 6 club in a long time. They literally offered nothing.
Yeah.
It was absolutely abysmal. And I don't actually think don't get me wrong, Forest were good.
Yeah.
Like credit to Forest. Played them off the park. They were really Dyche gets a lot of kind of his reputation is negative football. There was not any negativity. They absolutely went for them. I thought they were quality. But I thought Tottenham were far too passive. They looked like a relegation threatened team. They were so poor. They offered absolutely nothing. I don't remember them creating anything.
Thomas Frank does look a bit, when it pans to Thomas Frank in the dugout, he does look a bit lost sometimes. Sometimes he looks a bit surprised. Like he's got these face expressions where he's like, fucking hell, like this is really not going as I expected. He looks always panicky. He doesn't really look like he knows what's going on or how to fix it, which is kind of concerning. I know that's just like me judging something off camera panning to
Not
someone
at
for
all.
3 seconds, but when a goal goes in or like something, the camera panned to him when it was 3-0 and he looked like he was fucking a bit
to be
shocked,
fair though,
really.
from
It's not good.
what Spurs fans have been saying and from what you see, and I don't know, it just feels like there's just not.
It's weird. I think
it's not right.
Spurs fans are. So we spoke to some Spurs fans today, and they said, "Oh, Thomas Frank's shit." But on the other hand, we asked them if you was to give a manager out of Ange, Dyche, or Frank unlimited budget in the Premier League, which one?
That was interesting. Yeah.
Which one do you think would do better? And they all said Frank. Every Notts Forest fan and Tottenham fan. So I think at the moment he is living off his reputation at Brentford, and as we've seen with, I'll give you a great example here, Graham Potter. When he made the move to Chelsea, he was amazing at Brighton. Arguably just as good as Frank at Brentford. Maybe Frank was slightly better because he spent longer there. But Potter was like sort of lauded as this guy who transformed Brighton. But I think it's just because the club was run so well.
Yeah.
It made him look better than he was. And potentially, could that be... I'm just posing the question. I don't know. I could be like...
Is he a beneficiary of Brentford's?
Yeah, Brentford's recruitment and the way they operate as a football club.
Also, they just had a brilliant team.
Yeah, and also it's a case of is there this thing? Because sometimes I struggle to believe in it, but I guess there is truth to it. When you spent so long at a mid-table club, and you maybe never thought you would hit the heights of a Man United or a City, and you just never thought you'd get there. And then one day you're offered one of those jobs. Like I think in Thomas Frank's book, I'm not sure you heard about that, but he had interviews at United on the same day as Spurs. And in his book, he said he came out and he was like a bit starstruck at the fact he'd had an interview at Man United. So is there an argument where it's like some coaches just aren't made for the big clubs?
I don't necessarily think it's the fact that he's like starstruck about the clubs. In terms of like, I don't think it's a mentality issue.
Do you think the players...
I think he's been playing these... No, I just think, he's been playing against these teams. He's been in the Premier League, the biggest league in the world, for seasons. He's done it. He's beat big teams. He's been on the channels. I doubt it's that. I think it's more his style of football. It's just nothing is going right on the pitch. I don't necessarily think it's like...
I don't even know what he's trying to do though, and I think Spurs fans don't. When you watch it,
it's really hard to see. It's not It's not really pragmatic. I mean, it is in a sense, but it's not like park the bus football.
You made a good point about Ange. Like, do you reckon all the players have they still got a hangover from Ange and a bad hangover where it's like they were so poor?
I just
for
think
that
there's
season?
no chemistry whatsoever in this. I think they've gone from a string of negative managers. So you had your Conte, Mourinho. So that old Poch team, the Pochettino team, dead, right? That team's nothing. No one's there now from that Pochettino team. So these players are essentially a mishmash of weird recruitment from Levy, and they're like, and random buys, and then there's players that have been signed for systems that are like quite negative. So you've had like the Mourinho Conte, you had those players. A lot of them have started to go now. So then actually what was brought in were like these like very attacking, like quite exciting players like Porro, Udogie, like particularly with the back four. Even Van der Ven, like he marches forward. Ramiro's can be quite adventurous. You've even got like, even their attacking players under Ange. And it did work in his first season, to be fair. And even, I don't know, his second season was a disaster, to be fair. But I guess moving on from that, then they've got this new manager with a different style of football again. They've just had, you know what I mean? So they've had loads of different managers. There's been a mishmash of players. I think the recruitment's just been bad anyway. Like, I don't think they've fallen off. They're also like maybe losing Kane, losing Son. Like, who are the people in that dressing room now that you look to and like, they're the leader?
Yeah, there's not many.
You had the moment for me in that Forest game, because we haven't really, like, speaking about the game itself, was when Porro, they were getting a lead, so they were 3-0 down. Forest probably passed it about for probably about 5 minutes, unopposed. Then it goes to Nico Williams.
Weren't they? Like loads of them.
Yeah,
There was
Porro
about 50.
just grabs Nico Williams, wrestles him to the floor, and holds him down for a bit. Obviously, he's lost his head a bit. But he goes to the Tottenham players. They're passing it. You could see him mouthing. They're passing it about. They're taking the piss, and no one's.
Yeah,
gone in.
I do agree. I think some of the players, I feel like, and might be too harsh, but it feels like they don't care as much. Like there's not a good culture at the club at the minute. There's not a good winning mentality.
There's not an identity.
No one's trying. It doesn't look like they're all behind the manager and they're all really working towards a goal. Or it's poor all round. Really, it's not great. It doesn't look good. I don't really know what's going on.
I just think as well, like, finally, just from what Tottenham fans are saying, they don't like his football. They kind of already dislike him. It's not similar to Arteta, where Arteta he bought himself time, one, because he was a former captain, and two, because he won that cup early on.
Was that not in his first season?
That was in his first season, but he took over halfway through for Emery. So
but
we also knew that,
quality,
right?
Though.
Yeah, but we also knew that because he took over in mid-season, if I remember correctly.
It's going to be a rebuild.
That it would also, like, it would be a bit harder.
Yeah.
And we were so bad. Whereas I think with Thomas Frank, they don't really like him. They don't have any loyalty to him.
Yeah.
He's not a sexy name.
And also, like, we played some questionably
We
bad
played some
football
terrible
under
football.
Arteta, right?
Terrible football.
But at the same time, like, he did win that FA Cup, and you could tell he was a good manager. You could just see something.
Yeah.
At times we played terrible football, it was never...
Tim Cahill, I remember that clip that Tim Cahill did at United, and he said, I can see something, you I don't really do a Tim Cahill impression.
No.
But
yeah, he said...
He absolutely did.
There was a lot of haters that wanted Arteta out, and there was some people who could see the vision, for example, like Tim Cahill.
Yeah,
We like to call them footballing profiteers.
Profiteers? No.
No, footballing.
Prospectors.
I don't know what the word for it.
Profiteers, is that you're way off.
Yeah, sorry. I'm really bad with my
Your vocabulary.
Yeah, I
You
need to get
work.
on this
You need
level.
It was sensational. That was the true definition of.
But it was a true definition of someone who could see Arteta's vision, and
I don't see any. I don't think anyone.
yeah, and that's what I mean. I don't,
Any football person can see
what
vision.
pundit is saying I can see what Thomas Frank's doing. I believe it. I think they believe. Everyone believes him, including me, in terms of what he did at Brentford, and I think he's got a bit about him in terms of his character and the way he conducts himself. I've watched some behind-the-scenes footage of him speaking to his players at Brentford. I think he's quite moving. He talks very well. He just seems like a smart guy.
Yeah.
But it's like, what the fuck? What are you doing at the minute? I have
can't
no
see
idea.
it, no.
Can't see it. So that's a bit worrying.
But
It
the
a bit
question
worrying
is,
for
do
us.
you stick with him?
Yeah. They will speak because they finished 17th, right? So you might as well give him a couple of seasons.
A couple.
Yeah,
What,
the
playing
days,
like this?
the
A
days.
couple. Surely this season.
No, as in like obviously,
And
if you're
one
still
more,
playing
yeah.
dog shit football by the end of the season, and he finishes 11th. You probably go, it's not worked
Well,
out.
no, I
mate.
think
But
give him. To be fair, I think give him one more season after this.
Fucking hell, I've just said that.
No, you said a couple more
yeah,
seasons.
this season and next.
Well, it's one more season.
It's
then.
not. It's a couple of seasons.
Right. Anyway, I think.
That's what I meant. I meant including this one. You know what I mean?
But what I'm saying
You give him
is,
this one, then you go, right,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
we'll
Well,
chalk this one down to
'cause that was crap.
give you a summer, give you some
you
back
another
you a bit
summer.
more, because he's
Yeah.
had a bit of a shit summer. To be honest, I do feel sorry for Spurs fans, right? Morgan Gibbs-White, that was a surefire bet. The Forest owner steps in. Eze, that was a surefire bet. Arsenal owner step in. So I think, really, Thomas Frank's whole vision, he was probably planning the summer around a very, very good central midfielder who could string
Cam.
things together. Yeah, a Cam.
Yeah,
Could
it's
string
Xavi
things together.
Simmons.
Yeah, but he's not who he wanted. And he's not.
But, yeah.
And look, I think he's got a hard job, and I think he will come good eventually, but probably not this season. I don't think he's going to get.
I
sacked.
think, yeah, you either sit with him or he's not really liked. He's playing shit football. Just get
But
rid
they
of
will
him.
like him because football fans are fickle.
You
As
could
soon
just-
as you start putting runs together, they'll go, "He's a fucking genius." And
Yeah,
this is
fair.
it's the same with Arteta.
To be fair, yeah, there was Tottenham fans this week because they've won 2 home games in a row, saying they've turned the corner. So
Yeah.
and it's only now that they've been battered that they're like, oh, well,
he's actually
obviously
shit again. He's shit. So, yeah, let's give him time.
But yeah, credit to Deitch. He loves it.
Yeah, he's good. He's done really good at Forest since taking it. That just seemed like a surefire. That seemed like a good fit. It just looked
A
right.
surefire bet.
Like Ange did not look right. I always remember the video coming out where it's like first day at Forest.
Oh,
When he
when
comes
he
out and he's
came
full
out.
kit wanker, and then like 39 days later,
It wasn't.
Sean
Sean
Dyche
Dyche
walks
doing the
out
same
in the
thing.
exact same thing, and I thought, yeah, it looks better. He's gonna do all right. It's quite funny.
That's
that.
how simple it is. Yeah, you just go. He looks all right.
Yeah.
It's just who we are, mate.
But yeah, so do you want to move on to
City.
City?
Oh,
We also asked. I want to get on to just quickly on Forest. We also asked Forest fans whether they'd rather get relegated or win a European Cup, and there was mixed reviews on that.
Europa
But a
League.
lot Europa League, yeah. But a lot of
keep
them,
saying European Cup.
it is a European Cup. though.
Yeah, but the European Cup is like
No, I didn't say I just said a European
European Cup.
trophy. I'll say trophy then if you say European trophy. But yeah, and then they said a lot of them obviously just said they'd rather stay in the Premier League, which is fair enough.
yeah. I think the Europa League's like
It's not,
fairly
that, it's,
tin
not, it's
pot.
not really. It is a bit tin pot. Yeah,
Like,
because that's what I mean. Like
they've won
Ange-
2 actual European Cups.
Because we said to some Spurs fans like Ange is shit and stuff, but like a lot of Spurs fans were saying we love him because he gave us one of our best nights of our life.
But you do want to be relevant. That's like a short term like dopamine rush versus like
Yeah.
actually having like-
Relevance and
it's
stature.
like one fat sesh versus like.
And that's what I mean. It's like
You know what I
people
mean?
say like, oh well, your trophy drought is massive and you haven't won anything in years since the FA Cup. But it's like I prefer to be where we are now than just having a Europa League.
2
and
Community
being
Shields,
fucking
mate.
11th.
You know.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. I'd rather have 2 Community Shields rather than a Europa League, to be honest, and be where we are.
That's terrible clip.
No, as in like, I'm
Clip
not. That's
that up.
out of context. Clip that up. Yeah, fucking hell.
Would you rather
You've got
have
to
2
lose
Community Shields or a Europa League? Fuck me. You know what's really weird?
FA
though?
Cup. Okay,
Like,
FA Cup or Europa League.
I just want to talk about like the Community Shield.
FA Cup, mate.
That's such an opportunity for like it to be a big game. Like because if you think about it, it would in theory it should be a big game. You got the winner of the FA Cup and you got the winner of the Prem playing each other at the start of the
Yeah,
season.
it's like it's our version of the Super Cup.
You would think like if that was rebranded,
It's the Super Cup.
Yeah. But it's
They
just
should
no one gives a
rebrand it.
shit.
That's what I mean, because it's you know what it is.
and
Branding,
you've got fucking Chelsea saying the Club World
yeah, I
Cup
know.
champions.
Branding is so
Fuck
important
off.
in life, but in general for football, but just in general life. And I think if that was named the Super Cup, if that was named the Super Cup,
Yeah.
people would be like, "Oh, they won the Super Cup." It'd be one of those things where on like the stats,
Yeah.
when you put Community Shields, people always comment they don't count. But if it said Super Cup, like Barcelona and Real Madrid, they count those, mate.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, we've won it. We've won like 12 Super Cups."
Or whatever
What the
fucking
fuck's
hell.
a Super Cup? It's just whoever won the league against whoever won their fucking
Other trophy.
Other trophy. I think it's called something like that. Anyway, I don't know if it's a Super
No, I know
Cup,
what
but
you mean, yeah.
it's something that it sounds
No,
good.
they're taken more seriously in different countries, I think.
Yeah, they do. And if you fucking renamed it, it's like, what's the other one? Oh, sorry, I think it's called the Super Cup. Is the Super Cup not the winner of the Champions League against the winner of the Europa League? Is that not the?
I don't
What's
know.
that?
I
That
don't
might
know.
be the Super Cup. Anyway, it sounds mint,
never won either,
but
so it doesn't
really,
matter.
that's fucking irrelevant. Because who gives a shit who wins a one-off game against the Europa League champions and the Champions League? But because it's named nicely, people are like, "Oh, we'll count that."
Yeah.
It is a bit. I agree. I think it's a start. But you know, I think because the crux of it is it's right at the start.
If
of the
it was at the
season.
end of the season,
it
it'd be
is a
different.
friendly
Yeah.
because it's. If it was, they can't have it at the end of the season though. That's the problem. So I agree. Like it is
But they're
based
not
on
like,
that.
it's not a friendly
hip-hop.
though, because I watched the one we won against City 2 seasons ago. Well, start of
People
last
want to win
season.
it. Pep wanted to win that.
And yeah, it's not like the players were like, "Oh, we don't care."
No,
Like,
they care,
We
but
want to win.
also,
So-
like if you lose it, you're not gutted.
yeah, but that's what I mean. So I feel like it anyway needs to change. It's
not-
just because we won 2, and I want to say that.
Yeah, it's really irrelevant.
It's completely
So
irrelevant.
just let's move on to-
Completely irrelevant.
Let's move on to Wolverhampton Wanderers.
No,
I'm
no, no.
joking.
Let's talk about City.
Yeah. So City, they were having a crisis. Are they back?
Were they having a crisis last season? Or
Start of this season,
Were
weren't
they? When?
Lost, didn't they? At Villa and fucking don't know. Rodri was out and they looked a bit inconsistent. Not a crisis, but it looked a bit inconsistent. But I think, like, have they just had a nice run, or are they actually good? Because I didn't really watch a lot of this. I didn't watch any of the City game today, but people said that they were actually pretty bad. But they have got. I think the concerning thing
I
for
think
me
Palace
is number
fans
one,
said
they've
that.
got Haaland, and number two, Foden. Since we released that clip,
Yeah.
like cussing him out, he's
We've
basically been player of the season.
Yeah, we've ruined our season basically because of
And
that
I
clip.
reckon he saw that because that's on 1 million views now.
Yeah.
And it was weird because when he saw the clip, literally the next game he played, he fucking smashed it into the bottom corner and did a knee slide and he was shouting. And I heard him say,
Armchair podcast.
I heard him say, that's fuck you, Armchair podcast. He sort of said something like that.
That's what's been reported.
And
but
you couldn't hear it, but his lips,
You
I
could
lip
tell
read.
that's
and it
what he
said
was
something
saying.
about the Armchair podcast. So
Yeah.
I think it's really, so Man City fans should be thanking us really because he's fucking on a flyer.
yeah,
To be honest, when he does, you said he's a confidence player, and I kind of agree. But when he is, I must admit, when he has got that confidence behind him and he's in that flow state and he puts a string of good performances together, he's a really good player.
on form, yeah, he
On
is.
form.
Yeah, I think the difference between him and like let's say Saka is that Saka's just like obviously he has moments where he's better, but he's very consistent. Like he'll have a few games where he goes on a run, but I can't really see Saka, touch wood, going on like a year long like poor.
But also to me, like
run.
this comparison's stupid.
No,
because
no,
they
I'm
play
just saying
different positions.
as players.
But I think-
so. Let's say like even well, I don't know. We don't have a similar young that age, right? A player that age who plays in his position in our team, do we? I mean, you could. The comparison, I suppose, is Ødegaard.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I've got an interesting question for you. Name a better central attacking midfielder than Foden, because I can't. If you were going to pick a cam to have there to play behind your striker, name a better one than Foden. Who are you taking over Foden? Because I'd struggle to give you a name. At the minute in the Premier League, I'd struggle to give you a name.
Probably Bruno Fernandes. I'm not even taking the piss.
Yeah, Bruno Fernandes, to be fair, but he's played a bit deep this season. But yeah, give him the keys.
He is actually quite good.
I mean, Liverpool, the McAllister,
He's not a cam. Yeah,
that he plays. Verts, no, definitely not.
I'm taking the piss. Javi Siemens.
No, United, Fernandes,
don't
probably.
think
Cole
Eze-
Palmer.
No, but the thing is,
Cole
like,
Palmer
what
or
I'm trying to
Foden?
say is, Foden, if you had this conversation
There's not many.
like 3 months ago, you'd obviously say all of them are better than Foden
Yeah.
because he was playing
Yeah,
crap. So my point is, like, you have to remember that he did have. Yes, he's doing well right now, but you have to remember that he did just have a crap season.
My worry
before.
is when he had that generational season where we got 89 points, right? And that was the season where Foden got Player of the Season, and he was amazing. And he basically, him and Haaland again carried them to a title. It reminds me of that season.
Well, it's probably because they're the same players
And
that
I
play in
think
the same team.
the way to stop Man City winning the league this year, it's up to us because we're the only team that can stop them. Vice versa, is Ødegaard has to hit the heights that Foden's hitting in terms of he needs to work his way back into the team. Because at one point, we were thinking, we mentioned this on a previous podcast, he was meant to be the next De Bruyne of the Premier League. Gary Neville was saying he's going to be Player of the Season. He's been really average. So either Eze or Ødegaard needs to, because at the minute we're relying on Trossard. I mean, fucking hell, people wanted Trossard out,
And he's been our best player.
No, not even that. He's our goal scorer. If the ball goes to Saka on the right, it's either Saka. If he's having an off day, it's Trossard. But we've signed Gyökeres, who's not ready. We'll get into this now, but Gyökeres hasn't really hit the heights, has he? So we need. I think we need Ødegaard or Eze to really
Players need to step up.
Step up big
Players
time.
need to
Yeah.
step up, yeah.
So, anything final points on City Crystal Palace before?
Well,
we move on to
I didn't watch
Arsenal?
the game.
Yeah, neither did
but
I. But I think
it's hard to say. I do think that City were always gonna. I said that they would push us anyway.
I've got to give credit to City and Pep, to be honest, because as bad as they have been, bad in quotation marks as they've been over the past few seasons since they won the treble,
the past season,
they've always been good. Like even last season when they were terrible, apparently they finished 3 points behind us.
Yeah, but we were also crap.
Yeah, but
We were crap.
But crap in terms of like, what's the metric on crap? Like you weren't winning the league. But apart from that, I've got to commend him.
that is not true. We were not good last season, were we?
Yeah, but we finished.
Liverpool were far and
we
wide
finished
better.
second though.
No, but it was not like a close second or anything.
No,
it was
I know
a
what you
shit
mean.
second.
Yeah, it was a shit second.
And the only reason we were second is because City were so shit and Chelsea really inconsistent.
No, the reason what I'm saying is
it doesn't
I
make
think
sense.
Pep's hit Wenger levels in terms of
What?
no, in terms of like not that he's past Wenger in terms of the trophies, wouldn't he? Obviously, but I'm talking about consistency within a team in terms of like building like the worst Pep will ever do is finish.
No,
fourth.
their floor. You're talking about the floor.
Yes, this is
Right.
what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Their floor is like some called
So-
ceiling.
Yeah, but that's because
He's so good as a manager. I just try to give him a
but
bit
they've
of
also
credit.
No, I'm not taking
But they've
credit
had
off
injuries
him.
and like Rodri's out. Like, you've got to give them some credit. You have to because
I don't
yes,
have
they've
to.
spent.
I don't have to.
You've spent like
I don't have to give
a
them any
small
credit.
nation's worth, and they've got all these charges. I understand that, but aside from
Which
that,
have gone. Like, where are they?
Yeah, true.
They're just gonna
and
be
to
in
be
a
honest,
court forever,
all right, fine.
'cause they've paid so
I'll
many lawyers enough.
Sometimes I do think. I mean,
I think you're chatting shit. to be
really.
honest.
So you think?
I
You think
I just
he's
don't-
not-
I
he's
think
not
you're giving
doing
City and
good
Pep
enough?
Guardiola way too much
You don't think he's
credit.
doing good enough then with the team he's got? Do you reckon?
Not
He should be
really.
winning the league?
I'm just saying that like they're
They should be doing that.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and last season to them was an absolute crisis. It to where they are, right? So like they just won a treble and then you
Know what
finish
you mean.
third. That is a massive drop off. Like, and now they're just kind of back ish to where they're getting to more towards the level where they should be, right? So I just think what I'm trying to say is yes, it's a I suppose it's you could see it as a criticism, and you can also see it as like credit because you know the worst that they can do under Pep is like third, fourth, or whatever.
My hope that sorry to
But-
interrupt you. I'm really sorry about that. Sorry, I'm just.
Let me talk. Yeah.
Let me talk. Let me talk.
Can I talk?
Yeah.
I don't know. To be honest, I actually I don't know what I was saying about Pep. I just think I find it really difficult to give Pep and City credit. And even right now, I'm finding it difficult to give.
I think
to
it's
give,
because of
I'm
the
finding
charges.
it difficult to give Pep credit. It's not just about the charges. It's about the fact you've got a literal disgusting monster up
Yeah,
front.
he's a joke.
I'm sorry,
He's
but
a joke.
any manager would be doing all right with him up front.
He is. I was saying this to you like earlier today. Like that's the difference between City and Arsenal at the minute. Is they've genuinely got a player who could win the Ballon d'Or. And I was saying this to Josh at the start of the season. Like we need at least one. We haven't got so.
No,
Liverpool-
I said that to you. I
said it to me.
No player in our.
Let me talk. Let me talk. Let me talk.
Sorry.
I said we don't have a Ballon d'Or winner in our team.
Okay, you said it to me.
Do you agree?
And what I was saying that I think that Saka could Saka's probably the only one that could be.
I'm not just being
And-
reactionary. No, just hold on. I'm not being reactionary, but Saka has never had a season where you even think he's near that level.
No, hang on. Before he got injured last season. Yes.
Yeah, but like he got
was.
injured and then he came back and he was okay.
But this season he hasn't. But what I'm saying is he got 10 assists in the first like 10 games or something.
Yeah, I know. I understand
And
what you're saying.
and people were
but
saying,
like he's not right now. Like Tuchel came out in a press conference, said, "How many goals has he scored for England? Oh, bloody hell, he needs to score more than that." You know, he's not scoring enough.
yeah.
You know, you have people sometimes comparing him to Salah.
He's not. He's not. No, but what I'm saying
He's not a world beater, is he,
this
right now?
No,
And that's not criticism of Saka, right? That is me
yeah.
kind of saying, Saka, mate, you've got the talent
But he's
to
the
fucking get to that
only.
level.
This is what I'm saying. He's the only one that could
What
have the
about Declan
potential.
Rice?
But he's not. What I'm saying is, City had Rodri and Haaland, which is mental, really, because Rodri won the Ballon d'Or, and arguably Haaland should have won the Ballon d'Or already by now. So they've got 2 Ballon d'Or winners in their team. That's ridiculous, right? We haven't got Rice. Yeah, I'd say Rice and Saka could be, but are they going to? They need to get to that level. They do. That's the difference. Like Salah at Liverpool and Van Dijk, either one of those could win a Ballon d'Or.
No, hold on. Yeah, but so could Gabriel or Saliba.
Gabriel,
and people
probably,
aren't saying this, right?
True,
so like
true.
the analysis about Arsenal recently has been so interesting because we are still forgetting that Saliba and Gabriel. I think Gabriel is
true.
as important a player. This isn't
There's
just
only
taking
one.
his piss as Haaland is for City. As Gabriel for us is as important as Haaland is for City.
True, because the narrative this season was it's
Arsenal's defence will win us the
attack.
league,
Yeah,
and then and City's attack.
Yeah.
So you take out the most important part of our defence,
Yeah.
and you take out the most important part of City's attack, and what would be the result?
Because what has happened? So the first few games of the season, Pep in an interview said, "Can you win that?" Someone asked me if we win the league, and he went, "Well, we need to stop Arsenal first because they're not even conceding a shot. Never mind the goal."
Yeah.
And since Gabriel and Saliba have been injured,
We've looked way
we've been
more
conceded about 9 shots a game. We conceded 9 shots in the first fucking 10 games of a league.
Yeah, it's not a coincidence. And even our back line has been different. So now we've had to start switching up fullbacks.
But maybe we'll find out. Maybe Arteta this season, if we do somehow fucking don't win the league title again this year, maybe he'll go all out attack next season, because the best, and Arsenal fans have said it, the best we've ever looked under Arteta is when we were fucking blitzing teams with that electric.
Yeah, but we still had Gabriel and Saliba at the back.
We did.
So,
But what I'm saying, I don't understand it makes a huge difference, but we do play. Our game plan usually is more about keeping it solid and keeping a clean sheet rather than trying to fucking bulldoze teams. And if you look at most teams that have won the Prem, apart from Mourinho's Chelsea, it has been about scoring goals rather than trying not to concede goals.
But my big
That's
worry is
the
right
main
now,
thing.
like speaking generally about Arsenal, and I think the Wolves game epitomises kind of like my concerns about Arsenal. Obviously, they've gone quiet since we've been on a good. It's so interesting. Like, it's really hard to analyse your team because at the start of the season, I felt like really quite negative. I thought we were doing enough, but did you not? Because I remember after the United game, we won 1-0. But
Oh, no,
I
everyone was
shocked.
negative. The first 5 games, people were
I was
saying we
shocked
should
how
have
bad
got
we
more
were at
points.
United. I was shocked at how
Liverpool
passive we
were
were at
poor.
City,
City
and
and Liverpool.
it was so poor against Liverpool. And we've kind of forgotten those games because we've been better, and we have been good. Credit to Arteta, we have been good. My point is though that like it's so hard to analyze it. Like once you have it's hard to analyze something objectively when you beat Tottenham 4-1 or when you beat Bayern. You can just get carried away a bit.
But also, I reckon. So right, let's chalk it down to then how many games we had so far. It doesn't matter. But what's your overall analysis going into Christmas now of where we are? How good have we done this season? Because in my point of view, I think we've been average, and I don't actually. If I'm looking at it objectively, honestly, I think this title could go 50-50. I don't think we've been better than. I don't think we've been miles ahead of City to the point where you think fucking hell, it's guaranteed. If you look at the whole season so far, not this little good run, because we started off a bit timid, then we did well, and now we're sort of. I know Gabriel and Saliba. Maybe though this is reactionary because I agree with you. Like Gabriel and Saliba being out, that is massive.
Yeah, it's massive. But the thing is, last season, the season before, I could chalk that down to bad luck. But why does it keep happening?
You can't. Thing is, what
is going on
What's
in
that
our medical
quote in terms
department,
of you
though?
can't say it's if it keeps happening again. It's
What's
not
the definition
it's
of
not,
insanity?
Yeah, the same thing.
Yeah, it's doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Like, I don't get what is going on with these injuries.
he must be. I'd love to know. I'd love to go behind the scenes and behind the curtain and see how Pep trains compared to Arteta, because there must be an absolute intensity.
I think it's the style of
the
football.
training
I don't
sessions.
know.
Yeah, and the way we play football, because
We do a lot of running, and it's like always.
lot of
every
duels.
game is,
Duels.
Arteta uses the term a lot, suffering. You ever noticed? And I know it's probably a Spanish translation, but he does use this thing where he says, he said it. I remember when we played Leicester.
got to suffer.
We went up 2-0 up, and then the whole second half we were crap. And he said we had to suffer today, and the boys enjoy suffering, but like sometimes I feel like it's this obsession with like busting a gut and like putting your body on the line and fighting and running and being knackered at the end of the game. But that takes its toll, and it continuously is taking its toll on our squad because. I mean, it must be. I mean, what else is it? Bad luck? Yeah, I suppose. But can you call it luck if it happens over 3 seasons? Even 4? I mean, even in, you had Saliba go out in our first season. Second season, Saka, was it Erdegaard?
I just think also, though, it's a wider argument of football's changed. It's become more technical, more physical. We play more games. Like, that Barcelona team of like Messi, Suarez and Neymar, where it was like pure
you're saying
football.
it's less physical.
I don't think that, and it's sad, but I don't think we're ever going to have that again. Because it's
but everyone's playing the same football and we're getting
No,
way
we're
more
playing the
injuries.
same game, but I don't think it's the same football.
No, but I say but everyone's had to adapt to that style, sure.
Yeah, and everyone plays like dog shit now.
But why are we getting more injuries than everyone else? Why are we getting more injuries in City
Some of it has to be luck.
than Liverpool?
And also, like, for example, Rice, he was ill, he wasn't injured. Why does he never gets injured? So I think some players are just built different. It's also recruitment. You have to also put it down to recruitment. It's like the best available asset on a player's availability. So it's like, at the end of the day, yes, we've got unlucky with some players, like Tommy Asu. His injury record was perfect before we signed him. We signed him, he's fucking breaks like glass. So
There's more
some of it
examples
is
that.
luck.
I'm trying to think right now.
There is a lot of players we've signed that had good injury records coming
Erdegaard
in,
never had issues with injuries, and now he's in and out.
but he's a growing boy.
He's not really.
And that's another thing you've got
who
to
else?
contemplate for. It's
They're
like
not growing.
age as well is a thing too.
Are
like,
they growing?
Like
Erdegaard is not
Salah,
growing.
Salah, for example, is always available. Always available. Van Dijk, always available. So, yeah, it's how the players are built also as well. Mosquera, fucking hell, it looks like wind could blow him over like that guy. Do you know what I mean? Some players just aren't built for it, I don't think.
Yeah, but it's
Declan
our entire
Rice is a
squad.
fucking horse.
But it's our entire squad. Do you think
Yeah.
Gabriel looks injury prone to you?
No, I think that was just... I think that was unlucky. That is just
but
unlucky.
what about like...
But yeah, I do. There must be an element of the fact that they do just get overplayed. Must be that.
Yeah.
But what did you think of what did you actually make
thought
of
it
the
was
Wolves?
shocking.
Wolves performance?
It was
Because
so bad.
there was
It
quite a funny.
probably a second worst performance this season, I think.
Do you want to talk
Liverpool's
about that
had.
funny moment when we scored the winner?
Yeah, well, we scored the winner, and Jacob was angry. Like you went, fucking hell.
What happened was, obviously we scored the equaliser, and I literally said we're not going to win the league this year. And I still think it's. Anyway, I don't really want to.
Well, yeah, that's the thing.
I was a bit embarrassed because
it's the performance that's
the
worrying.
performance really worried me, and it was kind of embarrassing. It was embarrassing because we should have dropped points yesterday. We got fucking lucky. And what annoyed me was when Jesus scored, which he didn't, by the way, which was quite funny, and he went in, I thought, you've got the results. But I expected the players to sort of just go, fucking hell, like, yes, like, right, fuck. But they kind of, Erdegaard pissed me off. It was Erdegaard, to be honest, because he was doing this to the fans, and I was like, I know, I get it. You're full of adrenaline and you want to celebrate. But if it was me, I'd be like,
Fuming.
I'd be fuming. I'd be like, fucking hell, yeah, that should have happened ages ago. And I'd be like, right, I'd be almost like angry at that.
Yeah.
I know
Like,
you've just
thank
scored,
God.
so it's hard, but I'd be sort of more
Yeah,
thank
but-
God, like, rather than going, yeah, like we've scored against Wolves. You'd nearly dropped points literally 2 minutes before that and cost us the entire league, and you celebrating a
Probably
winner
emotion,
against
though.
Wolves.
I think at the time they probably
But
thought...
that's why I was
They
pissed
probably
off.
thought Jesus scored.
I think that's probably what it was.
I
Yeah.
think they just conceded literally like 3 minutes before
Maybe it was
that.
the Jesus thing.
I think 3 minutes before that we just conceded. So
Here's a good
scoring a
question.
winner though in that fashion, like it's different. We weren't in the ground, so it's different when you're there.
True. Here's
and
a
you'd
good
still
question,
be desperate.
Do you think the players rate Jesus more than Gyökeres? Because they kind of looked...
I don't know.
No, but I'm just posing a
They
question.
probably like him more because they know him.
It's just because, like, when when he scored both times, and I know they were happy for. To be fair, they were happy for Gyökeres when he scored too, and Havertz. So maybe I'm reading into it a bit too much.
I think
but
you are.
It
I
gives,
think this is nonsense.
Maybe it's just fucking
utter
nonsense.
woke
Sorry, I was
nonsense.
trying to sort an agenda.
But I think there's a conversation about Jesus, Havertz, and Gyökeres.
It's a really when they're all fit. Who the fuck do you play? It's really
Marino.
hard.
I mean, we're forgetting that.
He's not a striker.
But are we better?
He's a goal scorer, but he's not a
But
striker.
why is it that Marino
No, he
dropped?
proved at Villa that he's not good enough. He's not.
But the whole team wasn't good enough that day.
No, I understand that, but
Like some of our best ever performances under Arteta have been with Marino up top. Have they not? Real Madrid at home, Bayern at home,
That's a good point.
Chelsea. You know, some of those performances. What am I trying to think about? There's loads of examples, but we played well.
To be honest, you could argue that I know it can't. It's unfair on Gyökeres because he's hardly played, but even with Havertz and Jesus in the team, we do look better.
But do we? The thing is, for me, right now, my opinion on Gyökeres is sample size still too small.
That's what I mean. It's small.
Still too small.
So small.
For me,
It's up to the coach, really, isn't it? On who he thinks.
Yeah, for me, I'm not worried by him. I don't think he does anything that
I'm
bad.
worried for him because we'll be fine with or without Gyökeres. That's the thing,
No,
because
yeah.
we have Havertz and we do have Jesus and we have Marino. I'm
Yeah.
worried. I'm not worried. I'm worried for him because I
I
feel
want it
sorry
to
for the
work.
bloke. I want it to work for him. I want him to be our Haaland. I want him to be a talisman, and I want him to, but at the minute it's not looking good for him. So yeah, I want it to work for him. But unfortunately, because Arteta is ruthless and is at Arsenal, if it doesn't work after a couple of seasons, he will be on
After
the
a
bench.
couple of seasons, how much time are you giving these people? A couple of seasons.
We've just signed him. We can't just sell him. It's
after
not
a
how it
couple of
works.
seasons,
His value will drop
mate,
massively.
After about 5 games, he could only be on the bench.
No,
We've got
I
a
meant
title to
selling.
win.
I meant selling him. What I'm saying
After
is
this season, we could sell him.
I meant selling him. Yeah. So what I'm
Give
saying
him a
is
couple
Arteta
seasons.
will bench him.
Yeah, we
he's
start him up from-
ruthless.
if we
So
start him up
if
from
he's
for a
not
couple of
playing well,
seasons, he
he'll be
might come back.
benching, and
Yeah,
then he'll
after 5
get
games.
sold.
Yeah.
That's
He's not
what
going to have a couple seasons, is he?
on the bench. Yeah, until he gets sold.
No one's fucking buying that fat fuck.
They will.
Ew.
Saudi.
Like we sold Martinelli that well. You know what? Actually, this is why I think every
sake.
fucking Saudi comes in for every fucking player of every other club but our club. Is it policy? I don't know.
Yeah, it's
John
probably a policy
Duran from
thing.
Villa, how much did he go for?
Oh, yeah, but
60
we
million.
don't. Let's wait until January because we need to offload someone.
Who are we selling?
I actually don't think we'll
How
sign.
much does Martinelli go for?
I think
50p?
I don't think we'll sign anyone in January. I think we'll sell people in summer. Unless we have to balance the books because Arteta will want to keep everyone he fucking has. He'll be scarred
We
by the amount
can't
of
sell.
injuries we've had.
This is the question, right? This is the thing for Andrea Berta. He needs to learn how to sell some players.
He will though. He'll make a
No,
difference.
as in he needs. Sorry, it's not him that wasn't selling the players, but he needs to
I'm
sell
sorry.
these players.
There's no one in our squad that's worth less than 50 mil.
That is complete nonsense.
Who?
You think we get 50 mil for Martinelli?
Yes.
I think we 20 mil. in a
based
bag
on
of
today's
fucking
based on
KP
today's
nuts.
based on today's market.
We'd find a way to fucking sell them
yeah, but
for
no,
nothing.
genuinely though. Apart from
if we find a way to sell them cheap, we
50
will.
mil is a bit of an exaggeration, but like 30 mil. 30 mil, 100%. Who the fuck in our squad is worth less than 30 mil?
Christian
Norgard is our worst player.
That's not very nice.
No, in terms of like overall quality, like what he offers.
He's not worth 30 mil, lad.
He's on the bench.
He's worth about 10 mil max. He's worth about 5
That's
probably now.
fucking mental.
I'm not even taking the piss. Who's signing Christian Negi?
All right, fine. Take off Christian
Next.
Norgard.
Next,
Jesus.
Jesus.
Jesus is worth 30 million.
Knee made
quid.
of glass. He's had 2. Why would you sign him? 2 ACL injuries back-to-back seasons.
Yeah, true.
And he scored about
I think
5
it's
goals in his
injuries.
Arsenal
All right,
career.
fine.
Next.
All right, fine.
Next.
Who the fuck doesn't play hardly ever? Nanweri. 30
We'd
million.
find a way. What we do, we don't sell players, our
25
youth players, because
million,
we're loyal.
yeah,
so
true.
we'll sell him
Loan him out.
for peanuts, or we'll
Yeah.
loan him out for peanuts so that his value sink to the floor, sell him to Ipswich, so then Ipswich can sell him to fucking Chelsea or sell him to Nottingham Forest.
I'm sorry, but he's worth.
The way we dealt with Amari
£30 million.
Hutchinson, I'm sorry, that was disgusting. And the way we deal with Chelsea in general, we our business.
But what I'm saying is,
so
apart
bad.
from a couple of players who've got terrible injury records, so that's the only reason why they're not worth a good amount
Right,
of money.
Gyökeres, how much we sell him for? Because we just signed him 60 mil. His value's dropped like a
Well,
fucking...
if we sell Gyökeres
his
now,
value's dropped like a stone.
It'd be like if we sold him now, it'd be like 40
30 million.
40 mil. No, you can't be selling players now for 30 million quid. It's like fucking
We
£5.
will. We will. We didn't sell any players.
We've got
last season. We didn't
Berta.
sell. What players did we sell?
All right, okay. Realistic.
Jakob Kivior. Jakob Kivior started in 2 quarterfinals against Real Madrid and was brilliant. And we found a way of selling him for 20 million.
Yes, but this is before Berta came in. What I'm saying is,
No, it wasn't.
Who's likely to get sold in the summer?
Martinelli.
Zinchenko or
Zinchenko,
Martinelli
Tempe.
or Trossard.
Zinchenko goes on a free.
Hang on. Martinelli, let's do these 2 examples. Martinelli or Trossard. Basically, they're the same. They're worth, for me, they're worth
Trossard's
similar
31.
amounts.
He's 31, right?
It doesn't matter how old he is. Salah's 34.
Yeah, but Trossard is not Salah, first of all.
But he's fucking min.
We'll sell... Yeah, I know that, but there's no...
How much? My question is,
Anyone that runs a business-
how much
20 million, Trossard.
how much should you get for Trossard?
Trossard, if I was actually running Premier, I'm not taking the piss, probably pay max 30 million.
Yeah,
max.
30 million.
Right?
Yeah.
I think he's probably more realistically, we'll sell him for like 20. Best.
20 million.
Martinelli.
Yeah. Martinelli is worth at least 35 million British pounds.
We'll
35
I reckon
minimum.
we sell him for like... I don't think we sell him.
That's a fucking joke.
We don't sell him. Can you actually imagine us selling him?
Oh, Martinelli?
Yeah.
No, what I'm saying is...
Can you imagine it? Right, first of all, the way I like to put it, what Premier League club buys him and for how much? That's a good way of looking at it.
Who could I see Martinelli going to in the summer? Like fucking... I don't think he'll move to the Premier League. I think he'll go abroad.
And they're all broke.
Like Dortmund. Yeah, they're all
They're
broke. That's the
broke.
problem. That's a big... He has to go to a... I reckon Bayern would be good. Bayern would want him. Bayern would want him.
Yeah, but well, would they? I mean, they've got maybe.
Yeah, they would. Diaz is fucking... Yeah, Bayern would take him. And I think he'd go for at least 35 million. Sorry, if Bayern come in for him, 40 million. It has to be a big club.
We'll sell him for 30.
Because I reckon... The thing is, he's not that great, though, is he? He's not a starter. He's more of an impact player. So that's the problem. But I think he's worth at least 35, 40 million quid. Like, based on today's market. I mean, fucking hell, Madueke was sold for 50 million quid.
I'm not going to lie. I think we might need to sell one of the big boys this summer.
What do you mean, big boys?
I think we need to make
Ødegaard?
some money. Because right now, right, we are not... How much is Ødegaard worth right now, for example?
He's not worth a lot. About 50 million.
But I can't even see anyone buying him, man.
Yeah,
The thing is, I actually can't imagine us selling a player ever again.
It is a bit mad. When's the last time we sold a fucking player?
For money.
For money? For big money?
Oxlade-Chamberlain.
Oxlade-Chamberlain, 50 million.
Who else did we sell?
That was crazy, by the way.
Who did we even sell? We don't sell anyone.
But we don't need to at the minute, but we're going to need to in
we
the summer.
have to.
Yeah, it's
Because we
looking...
need to upgrade again. I'm sorry.
I think for me, you keep the smart thing to do business is let sell Martinelli, cash in now, because he's been pretty good.
Give Trossard another year.
Give Trossard another year.
He's been our best player.
'cause he's been good. And then buy a fucking mint left winger that's as good as Saka, potentially, if we can afford it. Like a Rodrigo or something.
Maybe we sell... Anyway, I don't know
Well,
why
you've
we're talking
got
about
to
this,
sell one of Havertz, Jesus, or
Yeah,
Gyökeres.
right. Out of the 3, like,
And that's
for example, who
fucking
buys
hard.
Havertz? Because he's just had an injury as well.
The problem is Havertz, Bayern, 100% would take him, or like another big club like PSG or something. He's a great player.
Yeah, true. He is a
Whereas,
good
like, I don't think
I think we could
Jesus,
sell him,
a big
I think
club,
we could sell Havertz for like 50 million.
a big club.
yeah.
We can't. The thing is with Jesus, it's like who the
Why
fuck's
would you
gonna
take
want
that
him?
risk?
Who's gonna want? No one's gonna take the risk.
So he's 28, right?
He'd have to score. He'd have to start smashing in goals. He'd have to start for Arsenal from now to the end of the season and score about 15 goals for anyone to pay above £30 million for him. So there's no point selling him. Might as well keep him. So it has to be Havertz or Gyökeres. So we can't have free strikes at the club, surely.
You can't sell Gyökeres.
Yeah, so we're not going to sell Havertz.
I think we need to sell
So Jesus will get
Marino.
sold. No, we can't sell Marino. Atlanta loves him.
Who do we sell then?
Yeah, it's hard. There's too many of them.
Because the thing is, we're always talking about like...
My worry is that we sell Namweri, right? Because he's my biggest, because I
What's your
think
biggest fear?
we've actually signed Namweri as a way to get more money for him because he's not getting any minutes.
What does that mean? You've signed who to get...
You'd sign Namweri on a long
sorry.
contract to get more money for him, and that's my worry because he's not hardly played. And my worry is that he'll go to another club and you'll think, why the fuck did we sell him?
I think there's two things. I think we'll have another season. This is how I see it, right? I think because of the players we're saying, a lot of players we've signed are quite new. They're quite recent. So we signed so many players. So I think what's going to happen is we sell probably like 2 people next season, next transfer window, summer transfer window. And I reckon we don't buy anyone.
Yeah.
I could see that happening.
That'd be
because we've
awful.
spent so much money.
If we win the league this year, I'm not bothered with about that. But then the argument will be
because they put their chips in. That's why
what I mean.
we need to win
So
the league.
The problem is, if you win the league and you don't strengthen in the summer, people will be saying they took the foot off the gas. We need to win the league and then sign. Do you know what I mean? We need to bring in the big names now. So people will moan about that, even though it's probably sensible. If we don't win the league and then we don't sign anyone, everyone will be like, this is a fucking crisis.
So the January
and we've
transfer
lost
window
it. So
is
that's what I
actually
mean.
coming up, and it's funny we're talking about this as in it's summer.
We'll
we
sign
could just
someone.
do in January.
100%.
No, we won't. You don't know. This club will not sign anyone in January.
Bro,
We're
we've
allergic to
changed
January.
the fucking club. Have you not
We are
seen what's just
allergic.
happened? We've just bought Eze.
We are allergic to signing people in January.
We will.
Other than
I think
Aubameyang.
Arteta's already mentioned about January transfer window about strengthening.
Mate,
Honestly, I guarantee if we sign someone else, that people will be fucking saying he's bought the league. We haven't bought the league though, to be fair. In a way, I mean, Eze, it's just greed. We didn't need
it was
Eze.
gluttony.
We didn't need Eze. We did need him, but like if Ødegaard was actually playing well, we wouldn't need Eze.
It's so interesting.
disgusting,
I think
'cause we've got
Ødegaard's so interesting.
He
to me.
needs to fucking.
He's really
the key.
curious.
He's the key for me. He needs to fucking step up.
It is true because there is a direct, like, when Ødegaard was at his best, we were at our best. You know, people say it was like Havertz and all this stuff. It was Ødegaard. Ødegaard has been the one that I remember from that West Ham game where he wrestled us back to 3-3. And since then, he was a beast for us. He was so good. Every time, he was made our club captain because he was the man you put your money on and he would come through. Like,
Because Rice can only do
thought-
Rice can only do so much.
Yeah,
Like
and
we
he-
seen it against Wolves the other day. Like he was knackered.
I think
but
he was ill,
he
to
still
be fair.
managed to find a way to fucking burst through and get that shot off, and he gave us a bit of a lift, and that led to the equaliser. Ødegaard needs
does
to do
need to
more,
step
man.
up.
He's
Yeah.
been shit.
but that's my concern. I just don't know. It's not like he's not, I don't think he's not trying. I just worry that,
It's finished.
but we've seen with Foden that it can happen. So
Jesus is finished.
my thing is, I can't understand why we signed Gyökeres if we've not really changed that. We're not changed that much with play. I thought we changed how we play this season, and to me, it looks no fucking different. I don't know about you. Does
Well,
it look that
it's
different?
not different at all.
So it's strange that we signed a completely different player.
I think it was Arteta's
just
plan.
odd.
It was Arteta's plan all along. Because if you notice, Ben White is fucking
Based on what?
Because when we signed Timber, Arteta obviously had a plan with Timber and Calafiori to sign them at roughly the same time. He knew how he wanted to play. He knew the players he wanted. He
He
knew the
signed
profile.
one season before the other.
Yeah, but he knew the type of profile that he wanted for those fullbacks. And have you noticed, as soon as Timber was injured again, he fucking just dropped Ben White straight away, even though Ben White's arguably he's a way better attacking fullback. So that's the thing. It's like he's always wanted to play defensive. And Gyökeres just doesn't suit the system.
No, but what's the point that you're making about Gyökeres?
Gyökeres doesn't suit it. No, it wasn't his plan. I don't think he wanted him.
Right.
I don't think he wanted Gyökeres. I think we needed a striker because we only had
And we
Havertz.
shat our
We only had
pants.
Havertz.
Yeah.
And I think we knew we needed a striker, but he was the only one available.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, and the
other
only
than
one in our
Tesco.
budget. We were shopping at bargain, bars or whatever.
Yeah, I know. I
And
can't
it was
believe we only
Ces-
spent
and
60
let's be
mil.
honest, it was Sesko or Gyökeres, and clearly Isak wanted
Or Nicholas
Liverpool.
Jackson.
Yeah, and clearly Isak said specifically, I don't want Arsenal, which is disappointing. I want Liverpool. Or we would have been in for it.
My worry is, here's honestly my worry. Havertz comes back.
This is your final point, and we're ending the podcast.
Havertz comes back. He's not good enough to win as a Premier League. That's my personal opinion.
That's
no matter how
bollocks.
good, is he?
Yeah, because that run when we got 89 points.
What? And we
he was up-
farmed points against Burnley, West Ham.
I'll get that run up now. It wasn't that.
What was
that
it
was
then,
a
Doc?
great run.
We played a
beat
crap
loads-
Chelsea
no,
team.
No.
What was it?
It was
and
a
we
good
and then
run, that.
we scraped draw against City.
We beat United as well. And we
United crap.
Look, anyway, the run we smashed teams as well. It was like
No, my
six.
worry is I don't think
Havertz was mint
Havertz. I'm not saying
during that run.
I'm not saying he's not good, but was he enough? No, he wasn't Haaland banging in goals. He wasn't. Gyökeres isn't good enough overall on his play, and Jesus isn't. Is it good enough as a striker either? He bottled chances.
Oh
in that
my
season.
God, we'll
so
go
my
out- who the
worry is
fuck- what,
none
go
of
out
them are
and sign
good.
Mbappe
It's like
then?
3 bowls of
Fuck's
fucking
sake.
porridge. One's too lumpy, one's too hot, one's too fucking cold.
I'm sorry.
It's the fucking 3 bowls of porridge. It's Humpty Dumpty and the fucking 3 bears.
The problem is, like,
doesn't make sense.
you either go all or
That
nothing,
doesn't
and
make
you have a
sense.
player like Haaland who's a
Fuck is
Ballon
Humpty
d'Or
Dumpty and
winner,
the
and if he
three
gets injured, you're fucked. Let's remember this. I'll end it on this. If Haaland gets injured, Manchester City
won't.
are fucked.
But he won't. It's just
What
like
if he
when
does?
City get 115 charges. They won't.
Look, at the end of the day, I'll leave it with that because we'll come back to this and we might be laughing. If Haaland gets injured and in March and they just can't score. Because they haven't got... Who's going to step in as striker?
I will be fucking laughing. But it won't... that's just chance, isn't it? But it
But
just
we've got
feels like
3.
the luck is never in our fucking favour, is it?
Yeah, but it's a long season,
you make your
Josh.
own luck.
It's a long season. We'll just end it on that.
Fucking
I don't
pissed
really
off.
know. All
I
right.
hate this shit.
Bloody hell.
I'm only
More
joking.
than you believe I'm happy.
You aren't showing it.
I'm so happy, believe me. I'm so happy. Happy New Year.
I'm only joking, guys.
All right, and on that,
Sorry.
thanks for listening, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Went a bit ranty at the end, but I still hope you enjoyed the episode. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok and everything like that, and leave us a review on Spotify and just comment. I still need to
commenting
ask
right
you guys some questions, to be honest.
Yeah,
so
send
we'll
in
do
your
that at
voice
some
notes
point.
eventually.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah,
at
we'll
one
get
point.
working on that.
Yeah, fucking, I need
All
to
right.
remember. I'll make a note of that actually.
Thanks
All
for
right.
watching, guys.
Cheers, guys. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys. Have a good week. Bye.
He's here.